Timer's ticking. Last chance to hit those likes. Let's get the party started.
Good morning, Cryptoverse. Let's talk some charts, man. Are we going lower? Let's talk about it. let's get a little. We need a little music pumping. What's this? This is some shiza right now. Where's the music? Where's the wake up music, man? Let's get a little funky today. Let's get a little funky, baby. What's going on? Good morning, Kennedy. What's up, buddy? We got Dan in here. We always got Dan in here. Dan the man. Dan said he's the first simp. Dan, what's up, man? Man, I need a haircut, bro. I'm getting a haircut today. 100%. Holy shit. Your boy needs a haircut. Look at this weird little angle coming in right here. Hey. What's going on, fellas? What's going on? Good morning. Is Bitcoin gonna go lower? That's the big question we're all gonna talk about tonight. Not tonight, this morning. I'm still getting used to. Look at this hair, man. Holy shit. Holy shit. This is more hair than I've had on my head probably since I was probably like maybe 25. I don't know why I picked that age, but that's the one I picked this morning. Mike, what's up, man? Music was muted? Yeah, I was muted. Now we're good. Now we're good. The technical difficulties are over this morning. No more technical difficulties. We went through a rough week last week. One day, I think the camera wasn't working. One day, the computer shut down before the stream. Another day, the mic was randomly not working for no reason. And literally, I restarted the stream, and then it was good. And then it was a shit show. But now we are back, and we are ready to freaking rock and roll. 21,818 for Bitcoin. Still holding this range we were at last night. The golden pocket, the 200 EMA. Are we going to hold this level, though? Right? The big question. And I'm looking at the DXY shooting up again this morning. And kind of like we've been saying, I think the DXY is going to that 786 retracement, which would cause Bitcoin to have another leg down. Now, once again, I'll say that doesn't mean that you can't have, some green candles on the 1 hour, the 4 hour that push you a little up a little bit. But we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. What's going on? Josh, he said, buy clippers, do it like yourself, like a man. I used to do that. Because here's the thing. I like my hair a certain way now. But back in the day, I did buy the clippers, and I used to just, put it on a 3, put that 3 on and just go whop, 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 the whole thing. But now I couldn't do it myself because I like the sides, 1 into a 2, and then the top being scissor cut. And honestly, I could never do that by myself. Listen, guys, you really think I could do that by myself? I eat Chinese food. Just kidding. I know. Last night I cooked chicken, rice, avocado, barbecue sauce, the whole good little stuffings last night. It was great. It was great, man. It was a great little breakfast. I saw Kennedy send a super chat right early. What's going on, man? He's drinking his coffee. I'm drinking my coffee. We're all waking up. Jordan's got a little bedhead this morning. But it's all good. It's all good. Anyways, what's Bitcoin? What did Bitcoin do last night, guys? Let's look at the chart. Bitcoin still just holding this range. I mean, if you look at the 1 hour time frame, look at this, man. I mean, we're spiking down, right? Spiking down, coming up, making a lower high. Spiking down, coming up, making a lower high. Spiking down. Now we're coming up again, but we're just holding out in this range. Now, what makes me a little bit worrisome, and guys, I'm going to tell you guys where I think Bitcoin's going to, and where I think Bitcoin's going to get a bounce. Now, does what I think really matter? No, but I'll give you guys where I think Bitcoin's going to go, just based off what I'm seeing, based off what I think the DXY is going to do. I go to the DXY, right? The DXY, it's getting a little rejection right now. Our ultimate target for the DXY was the 786, right? Why the 786 and the DXY? Well, very, very simple, right? It's a 786, and number 2, you see this stupid, guys, I don't want it to go up here, but you see this stupid inequality on the chart where you've got the fast move down on the dollar here. You gotta come back up and take that, man. It's almost like a wick in itself, but it's not a wick. It's just a fast move up, fast move down. On the bigger time frames, this is probably a wick. I still think the dollar, you see it broke out last night, still think it makes its way up here to the 786, and that's going to, in my opinion, right, don't shoot the messenger, I think that's going to cause Bitcoin to go a little bit lower here. That's my prediction, all right? But we'll get more into what the prediction is, but that's the reasoning why. Why are we going to do it? That's the reasoning why. And also the S&P broke the golden pocket last night. I do think that's going to come down to its 786 too, which also would put a little downwards pressure on Bitcoin. But that's not besides the point. We want to talk about crypto. We don't want to talk about the DXY. We don't want to talk about the S&P. Who wants to talk about those? Not us. Not us. We don't want to talk about those. We want to talk about lovely old Bitcoin, right? That's what we want to talk about. So let's talk about it. Let's see. Matic don't care. Bro, Matic don't give a shit. Matic spiking back up to the upside again. Matic, man. Matic is just a beast, right? I was looking at this rising wedge, right? It broke down. Now it's coming right back into the wedge, man. This thing does not give two flying Fs what Bitcoin's going to do. But we'll get into altcoins in a little bit. Yeah, but Matic don't give a flying F. So let's go back over here. So we were looking at this as a possible bounce point for Bitcoin. By bounce, we meant, what did we talk about last night, right? We talked about if Bitcoin was to get a bounce from this level, don't be a horse guy, because any bounce could just be a retest of these lows, right? Before you curl over and come in lower. Now, we really haven't gotten that bounce yet, right? I mean, this has been kind of lackluster. You're getting a small bounce up to like 23,000. You got a small bounce like to 22,930. I mean, it was a pretty lackluster. Now, I look at the 4-hour time frame. You could be trying to paint out a little bit of a W formation off the 200 EMA, right? But even this would be a short-term move. We're talking very, very short-term move. The only thing I'm looking for is a retake of this vector candle here, right? A retake of this vector candle here. And you notice how this support is half of that vector candle here. So that would be like if Bitcoin did get a rise up, right? Let's do like the semi-bullish scenario first. If it did, I would just look for a retest of 22,300 before probably getting rejected and coming right back down based off the DXY, right? The only way I get maybe a little bit bullish on Bitcoin is if it breaks back above 22,300, which let's see, right? You're going to need the dollar to take a big old little in order for that to happen, right? Then personally, it looks bullish, man. It looks bullish. Dion said, I'm starting to hate crypto. Might move to stocks, dude. So we get one dip and now you hate crypto? You get a month straight of up. A month straight of up only. You get one drop and now we hate crypto again. Dion, come on, buddy. Let's put a smile on your face. Let's get a little nice, man. How could you be mad? We got coffee brewing right now. We got Bitcoin chilling. We got the dollar pumping. We got the world burning behind us. How could we be in a bad mood right now? Oh, man. How could we do that, you know? How can we do that? All right, honestly, guys, where do I think Bitcoin's going? This is just my take, right? We broke this trend line, right? So this was a big trend line I was watching. We broke this trend line, smacked it to the downside. As soon as we got a daily close below, not even a daily close, as soon as we even sniffed the blood below this trend line, we just got dumped. So for me personally, I think there's a lot of liquidity right here, right? You see, because I think, all right, a lot of people miss this move up. Let's just look at this from like a psychological standpoint, right? Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. Okay. Let's look at this from let's get rid of this, right? From a psychological standpoint, where do you think most retail bought and where do you think most retail went long? Okay. Where do you think, guys? Let me know. Where do you think most retail bought and went long? Because I'm going to be honest. Let's be honest. From a psychological level, do you think most retail bought down here? Right? Most. Not all, right? There's a lot of us that did. A lot of us that were bullish down at the lows. Do you think most people did? No. Where did most retail buy this move? I would argue most retail bought in this range right here. Right? This range right here. You know, they might have been taking little profits right here. A lot of them were buying, but those people already got taken out. I think the people who are left, like the liquidity that's left in the market right now, is in this range. Okay, so if I'm looking at Bitcoin from a psychological level, I think, okay, you had this range right here where we kind of went sideways for a week. For me personally, okay, there's two reasons I'm looking at this level right here, right? And this is at 20,200. I know that might sound low, that might sound a little bit scary, okay, but bear with me for a second. Couple reasons I'm looking at that level. One, it's the 0.5 retracement. So if we take our swing low to our swing high, that's the mid level. Okay, that's your 0.5 retracement right there. Number two, okay, which is the biggest thing, is you come and sweep that liquidity, right? So you take out these lows. Okay, a lot of people probably have their stop losses right below this low, right? Because they think there's no way it's going to dump below this. So they come down, they sweep the lows, tag the 0.5 retracement. Okay. And that's where I'm looking for a bounce. Now that could change, right? We'll see what happens when we get down there. But to me, that's the most logical level to me, right? Because right here is where most retail FOMO'd in. They didn't FOMO in down here, right? They were waiting for the dip, right? And they got in right probably at this little pullback here. So this, I think you sweep this shit and you come back up. Now that might, like I said, that might sound a little scary. That might sound like we got a little shibboleth in the gym.
Everybody panic. We're going to zero.
Oh my God. If Bitcoin does that, I mean, if we're talking Bitcoin dropping another 7%, what would that mean for altcoins? Probably not very good things. That's my take, right? Some of you guys might think we bounce from this level. You could get a short-term bounce from this level for sure. But the bigger bounce, I don't know. Matic got a little spike up though. For all you guys that are in a little Matic. Let's see. Josh said, I agree in that area. And I'm just looking at this from a logical level. I'm not looking at this like with Moonboy lenses. I'm not looking at this like, oh my God, like I think we bounce from this level just because. For me, I'm looking at this as where would cause a lot of anger is if you take out these lows, right? You hit the stop losses right below this lows. There's a fib level there. There's a lot of previous resistance in that level. 20,200 is my target. If we don't get there, we don't get there. That's cool, man. I'm packed with spot down here, but I'm looking to add, right? Where do I want to add? 20,200 is where I want to add, in my personal opinion. So I'm gonna chill until we get to that level, man. If we don't, like I said, if we don't get there, we don't get there. It is what it is. Matt said that's a good take. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Matt. I'm trying to come at this from a logical level, you know, from a logical standpoint. Dan said, "Bear with me." He said, "Bear with me." No pun intended. You bear with me. You know how it is. Wayne, what's going on? Good morning, Wayne. Good morning, Wayne. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. And like I said, the big takeaway is, yes, the Bitcoin chart, but also the DXY, which I do think, you know, is going to make its way up to the 786 retracement. Because you actually, if you look at this as a flag too, right, and you actually put this up, this actually puts you up a little bit higher, back above these highs. Maybe you take out these highs and you deviate, but either way, it's hard for me to be bearish on the dollar right now. You know, which it's, like I said, it's hard for me to be short-term bullish on the little old corn at the moment when the dollar is looking a little juicy. Looking a little juicy, man. Josh, a little salty. Listen, man, we can be a little bit salty, okay? It's okay. We got to go through phases of salt. If we want pleasure, you got to go through salt, right? That's always the case. Who's feeling a little salty right now? Let me know in the chat. Let me know. Who's feeling a little salty? I may be feeling a little salty. My TA is giving me a little salt. Myself. It's giving me a little salt. Let's see. Josh, a little salty. Now, what could be the catalyst for a move up? Because, all right, we're looking Bitcoin to come down. But and there's a lot of FUD right now, guys. You ever notice that there's never FUD on a move to the upside? We talked about this, right? This whole move up for Bitcoin, right? There's about a 2-week span of Bitcoin just going straight up like this. There was no FUD at that time. Where does all the FUD come out? It comes out when Bitcoin's starting to look a little droopy already. It's almost pre-planned. Now, like I said, to the same point, when Bitcoin finds some type of support, wherever it is, whether it's here, you know, wherever it is, what's going to be that sort of like that bullish take where people are like, all right, maybe we can start going back into the market. I think CPI could be that. And when does CPI come out? CPI, I believe, is next Tuesday. Let's see. So today's Friday. When's CPI? Yeah, CPI is literally next Tuesday. It's almost like this shit is like just perfectly planted for the next move, right? So you got CPI coming out 8:30 on Tuesday the 14th. Today's Friday. So, I mean, we're talking the weekend and then 2 days, all right? And you got CPI. That could be the case where Bitcoin, you know, finds some type of low, wherever it is. Guys, I'm not going to sit here and act like where the low is. Okay, I don't know. It could be 21,000. It could be 20,200. Shit, maybe we nuke and it goes to 19,300. I have no idea. But we're looking for that bullish narrative. Wherever it finds a low, I guarantee you, if this is the low, right, CPI is going to come out right when Bitcoin's doing this. I almost guarantee it. It always plays out this way, where Bitcoin finds some type of low, okay? You have that first leg of the W, you come back up, you make the second leg of the W, and then good news always comes out right here. Always on that second leg of the W. Always, man. Always. It's ridiculous. It's honestly ridiculous. Stepdad said I'm waiting for 10 cents. 10 cents, dude. Holy shit. We're waiting for 10 cents out on this bitch. On what? What are we waiting for 10 cents? Oh, on GRT? On GRT? You gotta wait for Bitcoin to get a little low, man. I mean, listen, altcoin charts are cool. Altcoin charts are fun. They're fun to play around with. But until Bitcoin finds a low, I mean, altcoin's gonna continue to slowly bleed. All right. What are we thinking? So what about the SEC announcement today? That could be a catalyst for another move down. Like we need another catalyst for another move down, you know? Now, if the SEC announcement today is bullish for whatever reason, say the SEC announcement today is like the XRP case being settled or some shit like that, and it's not as, and honestly, and it ends up being good. Maybe Bitcoin just bounces from here. You got to be don't be pigeonholed into one option, because there is that announcement, guys. What do we think? What do we think that the SEC announcement is going to be today. I don't think it's going to be the XRP case. It's too good to be true. All right, that is way too good to be true. It's probably just another one of these exchanges they're going after, man. Right? Honestly, like that's been the case. All these announcements, oh, we're going after this exchange for selling a security or some shit like that. You know, that's been the case. Man, I'm feeling good today, man. I feel when I eat dinner and I have like a nice chicken and broccoli, I feel really good the next day. You know. This coffee, guys, I got some new coffee. You might make fun of it. It's honestly, it's this coffee that it's better than Dunkin', really. And honestly, you guys know me. You guys make fun of me for getting the Dunkin' coffee. The Dunkin' coffee, which, by the way, the best coffee to this day is still the Speedway coffee. When I used to walk to Speedway, grab that $1 coffee down the street, the Speedway coffee was great. You guys remember the Speedway days? You guys remember the Speedway days? Speedway coffee is pretty damn good, man. Right? For some random dude who just wakes up, probably itches his ass, right? And then he makes his and then he makes the coffee with his itched ass, right? And then he probably smells his finger for some reason, you know. But like, listen, like that Speedway coffee was legit, man, legit. They're gonna ban staking, and that's horrible for ETH. That could be the case, man. Listen, like, you gotta risk it for the biscuit. You know what I'm saying? What am I gonna do? Sell all my ETH right now? I ain't gonna do that. Gensler tweeted he will be a CNBC today dancing around questions. Dancing around questions. He always dances around questions. That guy's a little lizard. Honestly, he used to be a professor teaching about blockchain. And now he's like this anti-crypto guy. It doesn't even make sense. It's almost like it was pre-planned. Let's see. All right. Let's talk some other shit, man. We know we're watching for Bitcoin. The weekly chart, man. Here's what I'm hoping for, guys. Right? The weekly chart, I would prefer not to break. Actually, you know what's interesting, actually? You know what's interesting? Look at this confluence, guys. So we're talking about the 0.5 retracement on the daily. Look at this. So the start of the pump to the lows. Look at where the top of the bear market resistance band, or I guess I should call it the bull market support band now, even though it sounds a little weird saying that. Look where, if this does break down, right? That 0.5 retracement is also right at the tippity top of the bull market support band too. So there's a shitload of shit at 20,200. A shitload of shit. A shitload of shit coming in right at that level. Now, I would prefer not to break this downtrend, right? So this old downtrend, where you get the all-time high downtrend, I would prefer not to crack this. And if we do, I mean, I'm hoping it's on like a little wick, right? But if we do break down, this is the line in the sand. We want to see the bull market support band hold its support if Bitcoin starts to dump. Like I said, if Bitcoin starts closing weeklies below, back down below 19,000, that is looking a little bit shady, man. for like the bigger picture. I mean, at that point, you're already looking shady on like the daily. But for the weekly, monthly, if we start closing dailies below like 19K again, it's not the greatest. Not the greatest little sign. But like I said, we're still at 22K. Let's be patient. Let's let this play out. Let's see. Staking won't be banned for ETH. Maybe for stablecoins. Yeah, true. The banks don't like the staking for stablecoins. Why don't the banks like staking for stablecoins? Because the banks want you to have their money in them. Okay? They want to be giving you that 1% APR. They want to be giving you that. Lately, I mean, some of these banks, man, it's ridiculous. They give you 0.5%, or some of them give you like 0.1%. And it's like, listen, like, let's be honest, banks. Who wants to keep their money in that when they can put their money in a stable coin and make, I don't know, 5, 6, 7% APR? That's why they don't like these staking platforms, because people are learning that they can make more money keeping their money in a crypto project that's a safe one, not one of these like shady ones, but a safe one, instead of keeping their money in the bank, where the bank can tell you, listen, you can't, right? At least with a lot of these staking platforms, you have to agree not to withdraw it. But the bank will say, listen, you have your money in here. Technically, you can withdraw it, but we're not only going to let you withdraw a certain amount at a time, right? Yeah, it's honestly ridiculous, and that's why they're against this shit, because banks want money. Who pays off the bigger people? The banks. Okay. Now this goes down into a rabbit hole, but it is what it is. Facts. Robin Hood robs the hood. Robin Hood robs the damn hood, man. Even Robin Hood gives like 4%. Shit. Can we wick down a little bit so my long order can go through? Thanks. Me too, man. Me too. Honestly, like I took a little scalp long off the 200 EMA last night. Honestly, like it's still open, but like I might just close this after the show. I was hoping for a little bit of a move up, right? Just a little bit of a scalp move up. Honestly, this is looking weak though. This bounce is looking weak. Weak sauce. So I might just close this honestly and wait for lower. If it bounces, then whatever. But this is looking weak sauce, man. Weak sauce. And honestly, after that, I'm not really looking for a long until we get to 20,200 after that. I know people are looking at like this consolidation right here, right? I know people are looking at the 786, right? Thinking, oh man, what we took of these vector candles here. To me, this is just such an obvious place to bounce. I think you sweep these lows here. I think you sweep these lows. Because most people are like, oh, but we have support here. We're just gonna bounce right off the support and come right back up. That's too obvious. That's too obvious, man. I think they want to get a little scare. How do they scare most retail from buying, and how do they take out most retail? They break the support, okay? They sweep the lows. They think, okay, it's gonna come down here. You hit a fib retracement. Most retail don't use a fib, man. Right? So you have the 0.5 retracement. You sweep the lows. Right? People think, oh man, you broke this level. You broke this level. You're going down. You're going down. They sweep it. Right? Most retail ain't buying right here because they think it's gonna go straight down, straight all the way back down to the lows because you broke it. They sweep that shit, and then they bring it back up. Right? That's my take. This looks scary. It probably will be scary at the moment, but that is my take. That is my take, man. I'm gonna try a little swing long from down here if we get there. But that's only if we get there, right? If we don't get there, it is what it is. Let's see. Altcoins are tough. I try to pick and choose good alts to hold and good alts to flip. All my flips are trash though. Just hopium. All my flips are trash. All right, let's talk a little. What are we looking at? Total. Total's still sitting on the 618. Still like not the most convincing price action here, man. You would hope after a big drop, you get some type of big wick that looks obvious, like that you're going to come back up. You really didn't get it, to be honest, man. So same thing for this one. It's like, how do you scare most retail out of this one? All right. How do you do it? How do you do it? Let's take the swing low of the move to the swing high of the move. Look at that 0.5 retracement. It comes in right below those swing lows. You know what I mean? Right below those swing lows. So let's sweep the low. Sweep that shit. Like, get that broom. Sweep that shit. Take out everyone that went long all in this area. Where most retail went long is in this area. Right? Sweep that low. Take out all their stops. They all have their stops right below this low. And then we bring it back up. It's kind of the same thought process, It's kind of the same thought process as before. Can we change the golden pocket to the hot pockets? Hell yeah, we can change the golden pocket to the hot pockets if you want. The hot pockets, I kind of like that. What's the best hot pocket? To me, I gotta say, the pepperoni and cheese, simple but good. I think there's a mozzarella, sausage and mozzarella, I think is the other one. Oh man, dude, I used to live on hot pockets, man. You know why? Because I love pizza. I'm Italian. I love the pizza. Pizza's great. Who doesn't like pizza? You're a weirdo if you don't like pizza. In my opinion, you're a weirdo if you don't like pizza. All right, ETH. ETH still sitting back at the bottom of the range. It's really just at the bottom of the range. I mean, my system, okay, I go long here, but like, for me, altcoins are tough right now because, okay, an altcoin can look at, okay, we'll say, okay, ETH bounced once, twice, 3 times, 4 times from the zone. You'll look at that, but like, I go to Bitcoin, and Bitcoin, okay, yeah, it's at the 618, but it's not really at a level that I think, okay, it's going to the moon. You know, so it's hard for me to get pumped on little old ETH for even like maybe like a little same thing, kind of a little swing move up. Because look at it's gonna come back up here eventually. Like look at this inequality in the chart. Look at the inequality, man. Look at the inequality. So that's why I do think we're gonna go lower, but I do think we'll come back up to this general range again. Look at this inequality in the chart. You got. Oops, let me get rid of this. You got wick. Right? You got vector. You got wick. You got giant 1, 2 massive 4-hour vector candles. Like you just went fast move down. You know how much retail just went short right here? They're gonna come back up to this range at some point. But like I said, it could be Bitcoin gets another drop, ETH comes down, sweeps these lows again, and then they bring it back to the upside. You know? But we'll see. Understood. So do we panic and unstake everything or what? Panic? I don't know, man. You got to make your own decision with that. I don't like to tell people what to do because that bites you in the ass. If you tell people what you think they should do, they either think you're a hero or you're a villain. And honestly, like, it's not good to be a hero or a villain. You just want to be. You don't want to be a hero or a villain. You know what I mean? Let me get this off. Boom, boom, boom. Because why heroes have the most responsibilities and villains get the most criticism? You know what I mean? It's a lose-lose. Why do you think most superheroes and most superhero movies are depressed? Because they have the most responsibility. You know what I mean? You guys seen Spider-Man. You guys seen Spider-Man. What's Spider-Man? With great power comes great responsibility. You know what I mean? Sometimes that responsibility is not good. John said, if the exchanges have to end staking, they will automatically unstake for you. You won't lose your crypto. Thank you, John. Thank you for the update. Imagine if they ban staking and they're just like, you can't unstake. You know? That would be brutal. Bitcoin's still holding the range. DXY. Let's see what we do. DXY is getting a little rejection here in the short term. Do I think it's going to last? I don't know. I mean, you had a little 15. You like really zoom in here. Actually, you don't really have any bearish divergence, man. I think the DXY could just be setting up for the day. S&P, man, the fact that you broke that local 618 was a little interesting. For me, I want to see the S&P on a weekly close just hold the 50-week moving averages, okay? And this is, everything kind of comes together, right? Because, whoa, we know in the history of the S&P, 100 years, whenever it gets above the 50-week moving averages, it never just goes back below. It always ends up making a new all-time high before it goes back below again later on, right? So I'm looking at this, right? And any move down is, we just want to see the S&P hold the lows here. And there's still some downside, right? And this downside could be Bitcoin's downside here. So we want to see the 50-week moving averages hold on a weekly close. If we get some massive wick below, massive scare wick below, that could be very, very interesting. Very interesting. But I'm still looking at this like a big inverse head and shoulders eventually to play out. Just need to have a little patience with this. It could be another week of red, possibly, right? Depending on what happens here. But I'm still looking at the S&P the same way. The same damn way. This is on the weekly. We'll kind of let this play out, but this is still the plan for me, right? I mean, like I said, like if we go back to some of the worst times in history, okay, let's go back to 2008, right? All these times, like people compare this year to 2008, right? You were below the 50-week moving averages. As soon as you got above, okay, you were off to the races to the upside. 2000, right? One of the worst times in. Do they have it on here? Okay, yeah. 2000, one of the worst times in history, right? You broke below the 50-week moving averages. You never reclaimed the whole way down. And as soon as you did, okay, you got a little scared there. You went back into it. You were off to the races, right? So that's the way I'm looking at it. Worst times in history. When you reclaimed it, all was good. So until that breaks back down, all is good. If this breaks back down, though, be a little shady. Let's see. If that superheroes are always depressed because Hollywood likes to show John, that is true. Hollywood likes to show men as pussies. That is very, very true. Very, very true. Hollywood likes to make men look like pussies and women look strong and independent. Always, always, always. Look at all these sitcoms, man. The guy's like a little clown going, right? And then the woman's like, don't do that, Bob. You're being an idiot. And the guy's like, I am being an idiot. Thanks, wife. Right? That's so true. Look at all the sitcoms. You'll see it. Look at all the damn sitcoms. All right. Let's see what we got cooking here. What do we got cooking, guys? Bitcoin really ain't doing shit. Really ain't doing shit. Man, the DXY is getting a little dumpy. It's getting a little dumpy dump. It's getting a little dumpy dump this morning, guys. A little crazy. Let's see. Peter Wimpy Parker. When I showed my youngest commando, he was ready to take down the world. Youngest commando? For heat. Spider-Man. Spider-Man is one of the shadiest, let's see. Spider-Man is probably my least favorite superhero. Right? My favorite superhero probably has to be, if I had to pick one superhero to be, I don't know, man. I kind of like, what's his name? The guy who can like go into different dimensions and shit, and he can read minds. There's no better superpower than reading a mind. Because if you can read a mind, if you have an enemy, you can know exactly what their next move is going to be, right? So if their mind says punch, you can read it's going to punch, and you can just block that shit, right? If you could read minds, you can do anything you wanted to do without even people knowing you had a superpower, right? That's the thing. All these other superpowers, people are going to know you're a superhero or a supervillain, right? But if you could read minds, people wouldn't even know, and you just would be a boss. You know what I mean? You would literally be a boss if you could read minds. You know what I mean? That's my take. Because if I was a hero, I wouldn't want to show my powers. I wouldn't want people to treat me like a superhero. I want to be treated like a normal person without people knowing that I'm a superhero, you know? That's what I'd say. Rip to the people who bought at 24K. Dion, don't be rubbing in the salt, man. Don't be rubbing in the salt. I hope most people didn't buy at 24K. I hope most people bought down here, and most people didn't buy at 24K. That's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping for. I could know Superman was gonna laser eye me, and and it wouldn't help. Do you know how much shit you would have to go through if you could read minds? Oh, dude. I only would want to do it if you could choose when to turn it off. Like, if I could choose, okay, I want to read minds, but I don't want to do it right now. You know what I mean? Like, if I could switch it on and off, like, okay, I want to read this mother trucker's mind. All right? I could read his mind. But if there's one day where listen, I don't want to read minds today. I'm just going to keep that off. That would be the key. That would be key. But yeah, you would have to go through some serious shit. You would know everyone's worst things. It would be brutal. Papa Mike said Daredevil, blind badass, no superpowers. Oh man. Solpe. Kennedy, you said like it up, baby. Best entertainment on crypto web. Thanks for hanging out, dude. Thanks for hanging out. We'll hang out for a little bit longer, guys. I mean, honestly, since last night, the price action's been very lackluster. Been very sideways, nothing. It always goes sideways when I stream. Watch, all day today, it'll do something crazy. All day. And then I'll get on at 7 o'clock, it'll do nothing. Because all the action lately happens during the New York session. All of it. Literally all of it. You get the DXY dump, and Bitcoin is just chilling, man. I mean, really, if you saw this move on the DXY a couple weeks, or even like let's just call it a couple weeks ago, Bitcoin would be ripping to the upside. In fact, DXY is coming down. Bitcoin's just sitting there. You know what I mean? Like, it's craziness. It's craziness. Craziness in the markets right now. Let's see. The S and Pizzle. Chilling. Let's look at a few alts. So Matic, it's coming up a little bit. I'm not sold on this move though. You still got a giant wedge. Okay, if you go to the 4-hour time frame, you can see this kind of just looks like a retest. Right? So you got higher lows, higher highs. You can see the wedge, right? It's obvious. You dumped, you came back up, you find a little resistance here, you know? looking for a continuation down. Okay, and that's not fun. But if I'm gonna respect what I think is gonna happen for Bitcoin, then I gotta respect what's gonna happen for Matic, you know, which is also coming down. What else is moving? FET just kind of retested the 4-hour EMAs. You kind of get a little resistance off the EMAs here, right? So now you're kind of flipping trend. You're going from bouncing off the 4-hour EMAs to now getting rejected off the 4-hour EMAs. So this one too, okay, you're at the 618 fib, but it's like, man, I can't get, basically for me, I'm not going to be bullish if an alt or Bitcoin's below the 4-hour 30 and 50 EMAs. You got to be a little bit bearish at that time, you know? Let's see some other popular ones here. Most things are just kind of chilling at their lows, man. Let's see. Litecoin. The one thing I will say though is, you notice how a lot of these alts broke like M formations. So like Litecoin, right? M formation dumped. A lot of these. Do you see the retrace to test the M formation lows? You usually do. You know, and you haven't really seen it right now. But like, this is an interesting point because you have like the W formation forming at the lows. Same thing for Bitcoin. That's why, like, short term, do you see a move up to tag this liquidity, right? Tag this vector candle before moving back down. You certainly could. But that like, you see the 4-hour EMAs coming down. That could just tag those and then continue the trend. You know, so same type of deal. Bitcoin, come on, baby, give us some juice. Give us some juice, man. Dude. Who we got in here? Woke is overused as hell. Everything's woke now, man. Everything is woke. You know what I mean? Nowadays, I think people just like to be different. You know what I mean? Like, it's cool. Back in the days, it wasn't cool to be different, right? It was cool to be normal. Now, I feel like everyone just wants to be different, and it's like over the top, you know? It's just over the top. Like, okay, you want to be different, cool. We don't have to be wearing a trash bag as a shirt, you know what I mean? Like, we can be different without wearing a trash bag as a shirt, you know? I don't know. It's cool to be different. And I feel like everyone's a little over the top about it. Blaze said, I hope Jordan saw the 90% angle on, Blaze, I have no idea what that is, buddy. What is that? I feel like I'm going to say something that I probably shouldn't say. John said, people like to be different by being like everyone else and forcing others to be too. Somewhat, yes. All right. Anyways. All right, guys. I think I'm going to pack it up here. There just ain't really much going down. So let's let the day play out. Let's see where we end up. And we'll kind of go from there. But, yeah, I mean, Bitcoin's just kind of holding the lows here. I mean, honestly, I will say this. Like, short term, all right, let's talk this. Like, today, got the W formation off the 618. Do you see a slight tick up? Yes. But don't think just because we're getting a green that we're going back to the moon. You got to reclaim anything below 22,300. You got to still be a little bit bearish, right? That could just be a back test. If you reclaim 22.3 for whatever reason, you get back up here. Okay, there might be a little bit optimism, right? No pun intended. A little bit optimism. Okay, but okay, and then, but if you just smack this, man, medium term, right? AKA the next week or so. I still think you make your way, right? Whether you do this, you still think you make your way to like down here, 20,300. That's my target, right? That's my little target here. So let's see what happens. All right, I'll catch you guys later. 7 p.m. Let's let the day play out, man. Let's let the day play out, and we'll we'll see where we end up tonight at 7 p.m. Have a fantastic day, guys. Make sure you drink a little bit more coffee. I need a little bit more coffee, man. We all need coffee. All right, get some more coffee in your system. I'm out. Peace. Later, Gators. Peace out, guys. No pun intended. I need a long some optimism. That's why it's no pun intended. You know what I'm saying? I need a long some damn optimism. All right, later, guys. See ya. John, don't put the dots, man. Get out of here. Oh, man.